Breaking news for drivers across America, especially if you're 65 or older. The DMV has just rolled out three major rule changes that are already in effect in multiple states, and they could directly impact your license, your insurance rates, and your ability to drive legally. We're talking about mandatory vision retesting for senior drivers, real-time insurance tracking that can suspend your registration overnight, and aggressive new enforcement for distracted driving using technology you've probably never heard of. If you're not prepared, you could be facing fines, license suspension, or worse without any warning. I've spent the last week breaking down official DMV bulletins and state transportation updates to figure out exactly what's changing, which states are enforcing these rules right now, and what you need to do to stay protected. But there's one rule in particular that's catching seniors completely off guard, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Let's start with the rule that's affecting the most people right now: mandatory vision retesting for drivers over 65. This year, states including California, Florida, Texas, Illinois, and Pennsylvania have started requiring all drivers over the age of 65 to undergo mandatory vision retesting when they renew their licenses. And here's the critical part. If you're 65 or older and your license is up for renewal anytime in 2026, you will not be able to renew online or by mail like you might have done before. You'll be required to visit a DMV office in person and pass a vision screening test before your license can be renewed. Now, why is this happening? According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, vision-related issues are a leading cause of accidents among older drivers. Conditions like cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and general age-related vision decline can significantly impair your ability to see road signs, judge distances, and react to hazards. The DMV says this isn't about taking licenses away from seniors, it's about making sure everyone on the road can drive safely. But the reality is, if you don't pass that vision test, you could face restrictions on your license, or in some cases, lose your driving privileges entirely. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you're 68 years old. You've been driving for 50 years without a single accident. Your license expires in March. You assume you'll just renew it online like last time. But when you try, the system tells you that you need to come into the DMV for an in-person renewal. You show up, they give you the vision test, and you struggle to read the letters on the chart. The examiner tells you your vision doesn't meet the minimum standard for unrestricted driving. Now you're faced with a choice: get corrective lenses, have a medical evaluation, or accept restrictions on your license, like only driving during daylight hours or within a certain radius of your home. This is already happening to people across the country. So what should you do? First, if you're over 65 and your license is coming up for renewal, schedule an eye exam with your optometrist before you go to the DMV. Make sure your prescription is up to date. If you need new glasses or contacts, get them now. Second, if you already know you have vision problems, talk to your doctor about whether you're safe to drive. It's better to address this proactively than to be caught off guard at the DMV. And third, if you do end up with restrictions on your license, don't panic. Restrictions don't mean you can't drive. They just mean you need to drive within certain limits to keep yourself and others safe. Now let's talk about the second rule: real-time insurance verification and automatic penalties. This one applies to every driver in America, regardless of age. Multiple states have now implemented real-time insurance verification systems that are directly connected to the DMV database. What this means is that the DMV can now instantly check whether your car insurance is active and up to date. And here's the kicker: if your insurance lapses, even for a single day, the system will automatically flag your registration and you could face immediate penalties. Let me explain how this works. In the past, if your car insurance expired, you might not face any consequences unless you got pulled over or were involved in an accident. You might even drive for weeks or months without insurance before anyone noticed. That's no longer the case. With the new real-time verification system, the moment your insurance company reports that your policy has lapsed or been canceled, the DMV is notified. Depending on your state, this can trigger an automatic suspension of your vehicle registration, fines ranging from $100 to $500, and in some cases, a suspension of your driver's license. And it doesn't matter why your insurance lapsed. Maybe you forgot to pay your bill. Maybe your payment didn't go through. Maybe you switched insurance companies and there was a gap in coverage. None of that matters. The system doesn't care about excuses. It only cares about whether you have active insurance or not. Here's a real-world scenario. You're driving to work. Your insurance payment was due yesterday, but you forgot to make the payment. Your insurance company automatically cancels your policy that morning. By lunchtime, the DMV has been notified. By the time you get home, you've received a notice in the mail saying your registration is suspended and you owe a $250 reinstatement fee. Now you can't legally drive your car until you get new insurance, pay the fine, and get your registration reinstated. This is happening right now in states like New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Arizona, and more states are expected to adopt this system in the coming months. So what do you need to do? First, set up automatic payments for your car insurance if you haven't already. Make sure your payment method is always up to date so there are no interruptions in coverage. Second, if you're switching insurance companies, make absolutely sure there's no gap in coverage. Your new policy should start the same day your old policy ends. Third, keep proof of insurance in your car at all times and check your insurance status regularly through your provider's app or website. This rule is designed to keep uninsured drivers off the road, but it also means that even a minor mistake or oversight can lead to serious consequences. The third rule is the most aggressive enforcement change we've seen in years: enhanced distracted driving penalties and technology enforcement. Several states, including Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Virginia, and Georgia, have now implemented enhanced penalties for distracted driving, along with new technology that allows law enforcement to detect when drivers are using their phones behind the wheel. Here's what's changed. In the past, distracted driving laws focused mainly on texting and handheld phone use. If you were caught, you might get a ticket and a fine, usually around $100 to $200 for a first offense. Under the new rules, the penalties are much harsher. A first offense can now result in fines of up to $500, points on your license, and mandatory driver safety courses. A second offense can lead to fines of up to $1,000, license suspension, and in some cases, criminal charges. But here's what's really concerning. Law enforcement is now using new technology to catch distracted drivers. Some police departments are using devices called textilizers or distracted driving detection systems. These are sensors that can be mounted on patrol cars or placed on the side of the road. They use advanced cameras and AI to detect when drivers are looking down at their phones or holding devices while driving. If the system detects distracted driving behavior, it alerts the officer, who can then pull you over and issue a citation. And in some states, this technology is being combined with automated enforcement, similar to red light cameras or speed cameras. That means you could get a ticket in the mail without ever being pulled over. Now, you might be thinking, I don't text and drive, so this doesn't apply to me. But here's the thing. The definition of distracted driving has been expanded. It's not just about texting anymore. It includes looking at GPS or maps on your phone, even if it's mounted, changing music or podcasts on your phone, checking notifications, taking photos or videos, using social media, and even glancing at your phone while stopped at a red light. In some states, if a police officer sees you looking at your phone while your car is in motion, Even if you're stuck in traffic, they can cite you for distracted driving. Let me give you one more example. You're driving home from the grocery store. You're stopped at a red light. Your phone buzzes with a text message. You glance down at your phone to see who it's from. A police officer in the lane next to you sees you looking at your phone. The light turns green. You drive through the intersection. 2 blocks later, you see flashing lights behind you. The officer pulls you over and writes you a ticket for distracted driving. You try to explain that you were stopped at a red light and you didn't even touch your phone. The officer tells you that under the new law, even looking at your phone while your vehicle is running is considered distracted driving. Now you're facing a $500 fine, points on your license, and a potential increase in your insurance rates. This is the reality of the new distracted driving enforcement. So what should you do? First, put your phone away completely while you're driving. Put it in the glove compartment, in your bag, or anywhere you can't see it or reach it easily. Second, if you need to use GPS, set your destination before you start driving. Don't touch your phone once you're on the road. Third, if you absolutely need to make a call or send a message, pull over to a safe location first. It's not worth the risk. And fourth, consider investing in hands-free technology if you haven't already. Voice-activated systems, Bluetooth devices, and CarPlay or Android Auto can help you stay connected without breaking the law. Now, here's what a lot of people don't realize. These rules represent a fundamental shift in how driving laws are enforced. The days of getting warnings or second chances are largely over. Automated systems, real-time monitoring, and stricter penalties mean that small mistakes can lead to big consequences. You don't get a phone call. You don't get a grace period. The system flags you, and the penalties start immediately. And while these rules are being framed as safety measures, and in many cases they probably are, they're also part of a larger trend toward automated enforcement and data-driven compliance. Insurance companies are pushing for real-time verification because it gives them leverage. States are adopting AI-powered detection systems because they generate revenue. It's not all about safety, some of it is about efficiency and money. That doesn't mean you should ignore these rules or fight them. It just means you need to understand what you're dealing with. This isn't your father's DMV anymore. The margin for error is smaller, and the consequences are bigger. Let's recap the 3 major new driving rules you need to know about. Number 1. Mandatory vision retesting for drivers over 65. If you're a senior and your license is up for renewal, you'll need to pass a vision test in person at the DMV. Number 2, real-time insurance verification. The DMV can now instantly check your insurance status, and if your coverage lapses, you could face automatic penalties and registration suspension. Number 3, enhanced distracted driving penalties and technology enforcement. Stricter fines, new detection systems, and broader definitions of distracted driving mean you need to keep your phone out of sight and out of mind while driving. These rules are already in effect in multiple states, and more states are expected to follow. The key takeaway here is simple: stay informed, stay proactive, and stay compliant. If you're over 65, schedule that eye exam now. Set up automatic payments for your insurance, and put your phone away when you're behind the wheel. These might seem like small steps, but they can save you from serious headaches down the road. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. Drop a comment below if these rules are affecting you or if you've had experiences with any of these changes. Your insight helps other viewers understand what's really happening out there. And if you know a senior driver, a friend, or a family member who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Drive safe, stay protected, and I'll see you in the